Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Data here, and welcome to our final video on NHL 26, as today we're going through the Summer Tournament Extravaganza, a fun little tournament to end things off with a tournament of teams built by many of the viewers, all done by Hobbsy. Thank you very much to Hobbsy, as always, for all the work that he does here on the channel, but with input from many different viewers in the Discord server, and from compiling some different data that you'll be seeing in just a few minutes when we go through the teams themselves. Hobbsy built us 16 different teams, and in tonight's stream we'll be doing a little tournament of them to try and see which themed team is the most talented. Is it a team of players with alliterative names? Is it brothers who are Canadian? Is it American brothers? A lot of different teams we'll get through in just a moment. A couple moments. We'll get started at the, let's say, 3-minute mark as we start welcoming everybody in for what will be the final stream of NHL 26 as we start to get ready more and more for NHL 27. Crazy to think that that is already just around the corner. But with Connected Franchise and our own franchise mode series coming as well, there's a lot to be excited about for 27 as we now bid farewell to 26. Yorkie, welcome to the stream. I'll get into the details of what's going on tonight as well. Are you going to play it all? I'm not going to, well, we'll go in and watch it, but we're trying to see which team would be the one winning, right? So I won't influence it by playing, but we'll go in and watch. Sugary Hobgoblin, welcome. A lot of people getting in already. Welcome, everybody. I know it's been a little while since we've been live. My summer break has now come to an end. Well, I guess vacation. My vacation came to an end, which was in tandem with a little bit of a personal break from the channel. Real Divinity, Hobbsy, Washington Sports Fan, everybody welcome aboard. I'm also going to be putting a goal in here. What's the number here? What's his NHL 27 pre-order? How much do they want for this? Is it $129.99? Crazy. I'm going to be putting a goal in the chat, as this will also be the annual fundraiser here on the channel for anyone, whoever thinks, yeah, maybe think about donating, maybe just at the right time. Donations are never expected here on the channel, but if you're someone who says, yeah, I'd like to, then this would be the time to do so. So, yeah, $129.99. So, $129.99 times 1.3. I guess that's like $170. So, I'm going to put a goal in the chat of, let's say, I don't know, 10 super chats, whatever it might be. And the timer will be, I don't know, a couple hours. And celebrate, well, then the YouTube is able to put in the details here. To pre-order NHL 27 and put a goal. How about that? Data's back out. Welcome, Mackenzie. The king has returned. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. So the goal is there, and I'll be talking more about that in a little bit. Let me just make sure I share this into the Twitter world. I'm already just a little bit past the 3-minute mark, so we are just about ready to go. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Last couple of YouTube things over here. Been a little while since I've been live. NHL 26. King Turby, welcome. Well, that's if we're doing it through the YouTube, because YouTube takes a third of it, basically. So if it's through the PayPal, it won't need to happen. But in general, it's the annual fundraiser for the entire channel. So not just for NHL 27 necessarily, but if it goes higher than that for, MLB The Show 27 and other games that we get throughout the course of the next calendar year, next 365 days. Yorkie, I've been sleeping on the Starfleet series lately. What a series. Oh, I love the Starfleet series. A series like that brings the challenge. Such a blast. I'm glad that you've been enjoying it. And Gavin, hey Data and chat. Hope y'all are having a fantastic summer so far. At work, we'll have on in the background. Wonderful. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NHL 26 Summer Tournament Extravaganza. In tonight's stream, we'll be running through a 16-team tournament of different teams, different themed teams that Hobbsy built for us. I'll be going through the themes of each one, telling you I guess like what that team is built on, and you can start to see which ones are your favorites, which ones you think might win. And throughout the evening, we'll also be doubling your entries for anyone who sends a donation through YouTube, hey welcome Flamecraft, or through PayPal. They'll be tripled, but donations will be put towards NHL 27, potentially pre-ordering, potentially even getting early access depending on how much we raise, and then any extra can go towards the future of the channel. I know even a couple years ago when my brother had his son, we did a little fundraiser for him. Now he had a daughter, so I don't know if we're gonna do some fundraising there too. I don't want to start getting ahead of myself. But there's lots to be excited about. Many people start, think about how can I give to the channel, whatever it might be. You just being here is enough. I'll never ask for any more than that. But for those of you who do insist on, yes, I really do want to send something, now is the perfect time to do so. Your entries are doubled on YouTube, tripled on PayPal, link in the description. Let's get started. So this first team is the Alberta Alliteration. The title is right there. Players who have alliterative names. So Hobbs is taking players from the NHL, from the AHL, from Europe, and also from the legend teams as well, the alumni. I don't remember how I came up with this idea, but here we are. Yeah, Hobbsy, you did it. Here we are. So the alliterative squad right here. Team overalls, let me just look at, I have a Google sheet here that Hobbsy gave to me. Wacky Bruce, welcome. The alliterative, yeah, Alberta alliterative. All players' first and last names start with the same letter. There you go. Thank you, Wacky Bruce. Welcome aboard, buddy. All alumni. Okay, so alliterative is all alumni. So you see the big names: Steve Shutt, Charlie Conacher, Chris Chelios, Serge Savard, Robin Regier, Stuart Skinner. Love it. Now, next, the California Cousins. Now, the California Cousins, it's a team made up of cousins who have played or are currently playing in the NHL. For example, you have Kalle Järnkrok and Elias Lindholm are both cousins. Bo Horvat and Travis Konechny are both cousins. There's a couple guys repeated on two teams. Yeah, we tried as much for no repetition, but there was a little bit. And already the money's coming in. Already Turby's coming in. King Turby's already sending it early. King Turby gets as many created players as he wants in AHL 27. King Turby already sending in enough to cover the base game, that's for sure. Possibly even the deluxe edition. Oh my goodness, King Turby. So like I said, anything that we raise extra goes to the rest of the channel, and even maybe to my new niece, with some diaper purchases and things like that. But King Turby starting us off with on a wonderful foot, already covering almost the entirety of NHL 27 pre-order deluxe. I think with tax and pre-order, I think there's a little bit more that goes there, but already that crazy amount is close to being fully covered. King Turby, thank you so very much. Mr. Brian Michaelak, welcome aboard, my friend. But King Turby gets as many created players as he wants. Thank you for the congratulations on that. So they're the cousins. Next up, the Canada Brothers. So brothers who are Canadian and who play in the NHL and the AHL. No, it's more than enough, Turby. It's more than enough. I'm saying you're a few dollars shy, I think, from covering 100%, so I think we'll survive. I don't really care for the deluxe edition. I think pre-ordering and early access is an absolute scam for anyone who's not a content creator. Maybe it makes sense a bit for me, but I don't know. Anyway, so you have like the Makar brothers, the Barron brothers, the Doc brothers, the Radish brothers, the Shens, the Stromes, the Flurries, the Tanevs, the Clarks, the Geekies, the Suzukis, the Mercers, and Eric Comrie is the half-brother of former NHLer Mike Comrie. So there you go, close enough. The Dallas Double L's, these are players who have two L's in their name, part of the Alumni Association. So Luke Robitaille, Brett Hull, Glenn Hall, Red Kelly, two L's, love that. Next up, the Europe brothers. So same as the Canadian brothers, just the European version of that. So again, they could be playing in NHL, AHL, or in Europe, but they are European. So Protas brothers, Granlund, Nylander, Eklund, etc. Active Canadian brothers because the weakest thing ever, but Brent Gretzky has 4 games played. Yes, but I don't think Brent Gretzky's in the game, right? Sadly. That's the only thing holding us back from putting the Gretzkys in there. Too bad. Europe brothers. Next up, the Europe former first. This is a fun team. So former NHL first round picks who now play in European leagues. So like Nikita Sherbak, Brendan Perlini, Oscar Dansk, fun names like that. A lower overall team, but they might surprise us. Lots of fun ones. Marco Dano, Magnus Pajärvi, love that. Next up, the Frankfurt father-sons. So all players who are father and son. The Bellows father-son duo. Shane and Josh Doan, Ty and Max Domi, Gordy and Mark Howe. So lots of higher talent there, I think. No, not quite, Turby. And the 60. Oh, I didn't notice that Yager is 66 overall. Where is Yager? There he is. Jaromir Jagr's on that team too. Yes, 66 overall Jaromir Jagr. Love it. So the Frankfurt father-sons, Adam Foote, of course, one of the higher overall guys, yeah. Honolulu Huskies. It's not the true Honolulu Huskies, but it is a team created by Louis, who is Dank EA servers in the Discord server. I don't think that both hulls, if they're not both in the game, then Hobbsy didn't put them in. So Dank EA servers in the Discord server has been asking for the last 65 days in a row, something like that, to bring back the Honolulu Huskies. So this is a team that was just built by him. Some of his favorite players, he built this. It's not the true Honolulu Huskies, but it's a team built by the guy who loves the Huskies the most. A team of players who he loves, and he had control over that. Next up is the Isserlon in-laws. So these are in-laws. They are different in-laws. Yeah, so like Guy Carbonneau and Brendan Morrow. Father-in-law, son-in-law. Let's see. Charlie McAvoy is the son-in-law of NHL Rangers coach Mike Sullivan. Mark Stone and Cody Ceci, brother-in-laws. Carey Price and Yannick Weber, brothers-in-law. Stuff like that. So a bunch of different brothers-in-law, mostly. A little bit of father-in-law, son-in-law, but mostly. Even there's cousins-in-law, with Marcus and Nick Foligno being cousins-in-law with Wade Redden. Next up, the Jacksonville Journeymen. These are all players who have played for at least 8 teams. Everyone's played between 8 and 12 teams. Mike Sillinger here playing for 12 teams. Olli Jokinen, 10 teams. Jim Dowd, Dominic Moore, 10 teams. Everyone else playing 8 or 9 teams. So the Jacksonville Journeymen. Next up, the New York NHL employees. These are players who are all currently employed in a different capacity in the NHL with different teams. So you have some head coaches, you have some general managers, you have some assistant coaches, you have some Puck Doku legends in there. Goalie coaches, hockey operations advisor like Chara and Campbell, director of player development Todd Marchand in San Jose. Crazy. So NHL employees. Next up, the Orlando One teams. Players who have only played for one team. Yes, for their entire careers. Like Jean Beliveau with the Canadiens, Bobby Clark with the Flyers, Anze Kopitar with the Kings, so on and so forth. Players who have only played for one team. Next up, the Quebec Favorites. This is a team composed of players. The end of the employees took some digging, let me tell you that. Hobbsy did good work here. A team composed of the favorite players from channel members. So the channel members got polled who are some of your favorite players, including some of my favorite players as well. And a team built off that. So obviously one of the higher overall teams. You got some like personal ones like Phil Danault on this team for me. Then you have, like Mario Lemieux's out here, Mark Messier. So I would say the Quebec Favorites might be the favorite to win the tournament, but you never know in EA with high overalls. Next up, the Tampa Bay 2 first names. So players who have 2 first names basically as their name. Robert Thomas, Jamie Benn, Parker Kelly, Morgan Riley. So 2 first names, the Tampa Bay 2 first names. Next, the USA brothers. So just like the Canadian and the European, American brothers, the Hughes, the Robertsons, the Tkachuks. If you remember saying a name and they're not here, they're not in the game, says Hobbsy. Yes, true, thank you. Lane Hudson and his brother, Jackson Blake, USA brothers. Jackson Blake. Where's his relation? I'm looking for it. Oh, he's not on. Oh, Jackson Cates. Jackson Blake doesn't have his dad, Jason Blake, in the game, so there you go. But for some players, like let's say, yes, there is a Slavin brother, Josiah Slavin. Jack Campbell has no affiliation, but we needed an American backup goalie to save the team. So, it's almost always there's someone who fits the team, but if not, then Hobbsy had to make something work. And I think this is the last team. Yes, the Utah Upper Deck. These are all players who were pulled from the Series 2 tin, the hockey card pack opening that I did on May 12th on the channel. Any player who I pulled in there, Hobbsy put onto this team here. So this is a crazy high team as well because there were some good players from that pack opening and some in tandem with some of the hockey card content that I've been doing here on the channel, or I did do before the summer, and I look forward to possibly getting back into again. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. These are the teams, the 16 teams that will be fighting it out in the Summer Tournament Extravaganza. Yes, Real Divinity putting it well. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Hobbsy, for making this happen, for making the roster. It's available on PS5 if you want it. And now let's see who will be victorious. So we go to Tournament. Sorry, not tournament, playoff mode. Playoff mode. I made too many in the playoff simulation. Delete one of those. All right, so we are doing 16 teams. Each series is a best of 7, or should we do best of 5? Not best of 7's okay. Period length, continuous OT, superstar, if that means anything. And there you go. So we randomized the bracket. We did think about possibly doing like 1 versus 16 in terms of ratings. 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, 3 versus 14. But it might just be a bit too easy for those higher end teams. So we decided to just randomize it. You know, I don't think there's really a wrong way to do this, but we randomized it. And we're going to do, let's see, go to custom teams. This will be Honolulu. We're making an MTG game out of NHL cards. Build teams via pack openings and build teams that way for GM Connected. That would be one way to do it. Absolutely, Turby. There's many ways to do it, and that's one of them. Honolulu versus Alberta will be one matchup. The Alliteration versus the Huskies. Next up, we had the Tampa Bay Two Names. They will play against the Europe former firsts. That's a really fun team. Next, it's the USA Brothers. How can I forget to say this? Welcome back from vacation, Data. Hey, thank you, Mr. Brian Michaelak. It was a beautiful time. Got to relax. Got to enjoy our first anniversary as well. The USA Brothers will play against the California Cousins. There's some fun stories I got to share later in the stream. There's more people in the stream. I got to share a couple of funny stories. Let's see. NHL. No, the New York Employees will play against the Dallas Double L's. On this side of the bracket, we have the Quebec Favorites. They will play against the Iserlohn In-Laws. Is that a nod to Kyle Wood and the Iserlohn Roosters? The Utah Upper Decks will play against the Frankfurt Father Sons. Hobbsy, you're going to be updating the bracket as we go on the Google Sheet. Then the Orlando One-Teamers will play against the Jacksonville Journeymen. That's perfect. Guys who have played for only one team playing against guys who have played on multiple teams, like 8 or more. A nod to Wood, yes. And finally, the Canadian Brothers versus the European Brothers. Thank you. All right. There is our tournament ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Settings, we'll turn injuries off. Is there a team of Channel Legends? No, because there has to be too much creation, sadly. We're doing players who are already in the game. Injuries will be turned off. So bring the slider down to 0. And the attribute effects we'll put at 8. And that'll be it. Yes. All right, so get a good look. This will be the bracket, ladies and gentlemen, for our tournament that starts now. The Summer Tournament Extravaganza is ready to go. Start playoff. Get your predictions in for who you think will be most successful. And let's get started. I'll say it again, I'll probably say it a couple more times. This video, this tournament, this live stream is also serving as the annual fundraiser on the channel. Throughout the year, people donate, and it's so very much appreciated. And once a year, I try to say, if you have been looking to donate and you've been waiting for that perfect time to do so, this is the time to do it. I would never ask for that to be contingent on your viewership. I keep 99.9% public to everything, just a little bit that goes extra to the channel members. But all I ask for is your viewership, for your involvement, for being a part of the team. That is what is most valuable to me. But if you want to find a way to say, how can I contribute? How can I try and support what's going on here with me and my work, and with the need to purchase things like NHL 27, which is costly enough, this is the time that you would do it through YouTube or in the Discord server. Sorry, not in the PayPal link in the description. And your entries for created player raffles will be doubled and tripled. Outdo me for data, says King Turby, who dropped about 120. So there you have it. Quebec will win, says Flamecraft. So let's get started. It's the... we got the bracket going here too. I've got to dip out. Crying baby needs to be fed. We'll catch the rest of the stream later tonight. Have a good time, guys. Thank you, buddy. All right, so let's get started. It's the Honolulu Husky 2.0 created by Louis in the Discord server. Give me Orlando, says Hobbsy. There's reason to believe in loyalty. I like that. Versus the Alberta Alliteration. So at the beginning, we're just going to simulate through the game, and we won't see each one game by game. So sim to next game. right? Yeah. So game 1 goes to the alliteration. All right. And when it gets later in the series, we'll go and watch each one. But at the beginning, with 8 different series going on, we'll go a little faster, then we'll slow it down after. Next up, we have the Cousins, the USA Brothers versus the Cousins. Let's sim game 1, and the Cousins take it over the USA Brothers, really. So far, the 86 overall team beat the 88 overall team, and the 84 beat the 85. So underdogs are now 2-0. Next up, we have the in-laws versus the favorites, 84 versus 95 overall. Let's do this one. Game 1 going to the Quebec favorites, makes sense. The journeymen, who played for 8 teams or more, playing against a team of players who only played for one team. Game 1 goes to Orlando. The one-teamers win game 1. Next up, we have the what are they called? The two names versus the former firsts. The two names versus the former first. Two names win game 1. The double L's taking on the NHL employees. NHL employees win game 1. And now this is the Frankfurt father-sons taking on the Upper Deck squad. Game 1 going to Upper Deck. And European brothers versus Canadian brothers. Let's do that. 1-0 for the European brothers. I'm going to say let's jump through the first 3 games of each series. The first 3 games, and after that we'll slow sim everything from now to the end of the tournament. But just if we can get through the first 8, if we could jump through the first, like 24 games, that would be quite helpful. All right, game 2. The alliteration takes game 2, and the Honolulu Husky 2.0 squad is now down 2-0, despite being the higher rated team. Cousins versus USA Brothers, 1-1 series. The in-laws versus the Quebec favorites. That's also a 1-1 series. Wow, 84 overall team beating a 95 overall team. One-teamers versus journeymen, 1-1 series. The favorites versus the former firsts versus the two names. Welcome back, Washington Sports. Two names going up 2-0 in that series against the lowest rated team, just a 64 rated squad, right? Is that what it is? Who's doing the best? The two names so far, I guess, or the alliteration. Next up, double L's versus NHL employees. That is a 2-0 series now for the NHL employees. Father-sons versus Upper Deck, 2-0 series for Upper Deck. And European brothers versus Canadian brothers. That's a big surprise there. The 73 overall team beat the 83 overall team. And they're up 2-0 in the series. Real Deal Prime, welcome to the stream, my friend. Wow, up 2-0 in the series. The European brothers might be the biggest surprise right now. All right, game 3 will be the last one that we sim before we go. That we jump through before going to the slow sim for each one moving forward. All right, can the Huskies stay? Oh my goodness, the alliteration's up 3-0 in the series now. Alberta alliteration up 3-0. USA Brothers versus the Cousins, and it's a 2-1 series for the brothers. Favorites versus in-laws, 2-1 series for the favorites. One-teamers versus journeymen, 2-1 series for the one-teams. Can the European former firsts get a victory? No, they can't. They're down 3-0. Double L's don't want to go down 3-0, and they are. Wow, that's 3 series now up 3-0. Upper Deck, can they be the third or the fourth? Sorry, no, 2-1 series as the father-sons get a victory. And can the Canadian brothers have some life here? No, the European brothers are up 3-0 in the series. The 73 rated European brother squad is up 3-0 against the 83 overall Canadian brother squad. All right, from here on out, we are going to go into each game. So here we go. The alliteration is looking to sweep the Huskies. First period, 2-2. Taylor and Woltek-Wolski. I love it. Make it 2-0 alliteration before Horvat and Monahan. Look at the pink back there. Makes you think maybe Honolulu in NHL 27. Second period, whoa, 7-3 Huskies. The Huskies have life in the slow sim. You would think, come on, 88 rated team. And third period, whoa, 12-3 the final. The Huskies have bite. 12-3 Huskies, and they will not be swept. 3 goals and 6 points from Pasternak, 6 points from Hagel. Wow, 12-3, and they are alive. Oh, Hobbsy, I had no idea that you had jerseys done. Yes, we will definitely look at the jerseys for each team at the elimination game or sooner. USA Brothers versus, yes, Real Deal Prime, GOAT out there. USA Brothers versus Cousins now. Yeah, Huskies showed up well with their backs against the wall. USA Brothers versus Cousins. First period, Cousins up 1-0, Yaros. Second period, 2-0, Bo Horvat on the power play, Bo top 50. Third period, 2-2. The USA brothers come back. JVR and Slavin. Just home and away, got it. Overtime now. Cousins power play killed off. Let's sim it. USA brothers win. Nick Robertson puts the USA brothers up 3-1 in their series now. Quebec favorites versus the in-laws. Quebec favorites up 2-1 in the series. First period, 1-0 in-laws. Brendan Morrow scoring on Patrick Waugh. Second period, 2-2. Marcus Foligno scores, but making it 2-0 before Sakic and Messier answer back. Whew. Third period now, and the in-laws win. Howie Morenz! Wow! Shots end 44-27 for the favorites, but the in-laws win 3-2. Everyone's got to meet real deal. I know. Wow, Howie Morenz, the 84 overall team, beats the 95 overall team to tie the series at 2. Howie Morenz. All right, the one-teamers versus the journeymen. 2-1 series for the one-teamers. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-0 one-teamers. Jean Béliveau and Patrick Eliash. Third period, 2-2. The journeymen come back to tie it. Corey Perry and Jim Dowd, right? Jim? Overtime now. Let's sim it. And the journeymen tie the series at 2 with a 3-2 victory. Cummins scores in overtime to tie that series at 2. Looking for our first sweep now. It's the two names looking to sweep the European former firsts. Can Jaeger do anything? First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-1. It's Carlson and Stuart Percy, right? Emile Andre scores for the two names. Emile Andre, two first names. Yeah. Wow, Percy and Carlson score and put the former firsts up 2-1. Can they hang on and hold off the sweep? Magnus Pajärvi, 63 overall, makes it a 2-goal game, but Jimmy Benn brings them back within 1. Power play former firsts. Extended opportunity. Power play for like 6 minutes. Doesn't go anywhere. Final 5 minutes, and that's all she wrote. They hold off the sweep, and the former firsts win 3-2. Wow. All right. 3-2 there. Now, can the NHL employees take down the Dallas Double L's? NHL employees, they're 87 overall, and they're 1 win away from sweeping the 90 overall Double L's. First period, and it's 2-2. Robitaille and Westphal for the Double L's. Steen and Briere for the NHL employees. Second period, 3-2. Rod Brendamore, power play goal as the coach of the Hurricanes puts the employees up by 1. Jersey? What are you referring to there? Brett Hall in the Double L's ties this game up at 3. 92 overall, Brett Hall. But Rod Brendamore, the coach of the Hurricanes, puts the employees back up by 1. Will it be enough to sweep the 90-rated Double L's? Oh my goodness, it is. As the Double L's are the first team to fall, they were the fourth highest rated team. The 4th highest rated out of the 16 teams gets swept. Oh, it's a series game. Show the jerseys. Hey. I'm sorry. We'll have to do it at the end then. Or you know what? I could just back out of the tournament right now. It'll save. And just go look at the Double L's quickly. And then we'll look at the other guys later. Wow. What a game from Rod Brendamore. Here, let me just... Yeah, save and exit. And we'll just look at the jerseys for the NHL employees who got fired. Then we'll go back to the tournament in just a sec here. Let's see. Switch league. Custom teams. New... Actually, maybe it'd be faster to do it like this, now that I think about it. All right. Alberta alliteration. Got home and away like this. Oh, yes. I like it. Home and away. Got to start thinking about custom jerseys if we're going to be doing a custom team. NHL 27. Try to type faster, but too slow. That's all right. The California Cousin. I should probably go on this side, actually, so it'll default to the home. California Cousins love these jerseys. Beautiful. There was an alternate? Oh, okay, great. Sweet. The Canada Brothers, home, away, alternate. The Dallas Double L's, home, away, alternate. The European Brothers, home, love that, away, alternate. European Former Firsts, home, away, alternate. Frankfurt Father Sons, there's Gordy, home, away, alternate. Honolulu Huskies, you already know. You already know! Do we see this jersey again in NHL 27? Home, away, alternate. Yeah, based on the ones that I just kind of went crazy with in NHL 20. Oh my goodness. Iserlohn In-Laws, home, away, alternates. Jacksonville Journeyman, home, away, alternates. Got a little bit of that Starfleet vibe. New York NHL Employees, home, away, alternates. Yeah, I knew that would be the inspiration. Orlando One-Teamers, home, there's Jean Beliveau, away, alternate. Oh, I like that alternate. The Quebec Favorites, home, away, alternates. There's Mario. Tampa Bay Two First Names, home, away, alternate. USA Brothers, home, away, alternate. And finally, the Utah Upper Deck, home, I like those, away, alternate. Got a little bit of Brooklyn Bellow vibe to them, I think. A little Brooklyn Bellow vibe. All right, back to the tournament. Sorry, the playoff mode here. There we go. All right, so only one series is done then with that sweep. On to the next Upper Deck versus Father Sons. Here we go. First period, 3-0 Upper Deck. Jarvis, Barkov, and Toffoli on Caden Primo with his father, Keith Primo. Third period, 5-1. Whew, 5-1 Upper Deck. Despite being outshot 34-20-something. That's an easy win for them. 25, I think. Can the European Brothers now, with a 10 overall difference, sweep the Canadian Brothers? Let's see. First period, 1-0 European Brothers, Jesper Bokvist. Second period, 2-0 Lauridsen. Third period, the Canadian Brothers are down 2-0. Only an 83 overall team, but versus a 73. Hold on. Geeky and then Radish get in on the action. 2-2 game. Power play Canada. Geeky scores his second of the period. Down 2-0 to now up 3-2. Holding off the sweep. They have a few more minutes to go. With 5 minutes left, shots 40-23. And it looks like they'll make it as Braden Shen adds the insurance marker. 4-2 the final. The Canadian Brothers will not be swept. All right, Alberta Alliteration versus Honolulu Huskies 2.0. First period, 1-1, Nino Niederreiter and Chikrin. Second period, Huskies up, Boone Jenner. 2-1 Huskies. Honolulu leads 2-1. Hagel on the power play makes it 3-1. This pink is making me so nostalgic. 3-1 Huskies, will that be enough? Looks like it. 4-1 the final. Sean Monahan adds another. They live to see another day. Can the U.S. Brothers now beat the Cousins? Brothers versus Cousins. Let's see which blood is thicker. First period, Brothers up 1-0. John, right? Leonard. Second period, 4-1. Konechny ties it, but then Robertson, Kachuk, and the Kachuk brothers even, making it 4-1. And 5-3 the final. Even 2 late goals from the Cousins in the final 2.5 minutes, but not enough. 5-3 for the American Brothers, and they are through. Next up, the In-Laws versus the Favorites. Crazy overall differences here. First period, 2-0 Favorites, Madano and Lemieux. Is seeing the pink in this stream what confirms Honolulu for NHL 27? It might. Second period, 2-1. Brendan Morrow is giving his team a little bit of life here, down 1 in the third, but Joe Sakic puts the Favorites back up by 2. Power play for the In-Laws. Keeled off 4-1 Zetterberg, and that's going to be all she wrote. 3-goal lead with 10 minutes to go, and the Favorites are now up in the series. 4-1 the final. All right. Next up, the One-Teamers versus the Journeymen. The One-Teamers versus the Journeymen. First period, whoa, 5-goal period. Ashton opens it up. Cummins answers back. Right? No, that's the same team. 2-0. Then Seabrook answers back. Hayduk and O'Reilly. So it's 2-0. My apologies. And then 3 in a row from Seabrook, Hayduk, and O'Reilly. Second period, 5-3. Hill, Beliveau, and Kopitar. 5-3 for the One-Teamers. Up by 2. One-teamers, Hobbsy's pick to win the tournament, are up by 2 in the third. Couple power plays, and Drew Doughty puts it to bed. 6-3 the final. Up 3-2 in the series. All right, the color combination doesn't work in the slow sim. No, not so much. All right, the two first namers versus the European former firsts. Here we go. First period, 1-0 for Brendan Dillon with the double L's. Second period, Jamie Benn with the double N's, double letters, not double L's, double letters. Jamie Benn makes it 2-0. Do the European former firsts have anything in them? Can Jaromir Jagr pull off any magic at 66 overall to get this team to another game? No, it looks like that'll be it as the two namers. Sorry, no, it's not the two letters, Ben, double N. It's two names, not two letters. Getting confused. Jamie Benn. Shutout victory for the two namers as the European former first rounders are out. Jake Allen with the victory. The shutout victory, that is. All right. Two names data. Brendan and Dylan, Jamie and Ben. Yeah, I saw the two L's and the two N's and I got confused. All right, Father Sons versus Upper Deck. Here we go. Upper Deck. And oh, Sheriff with the 1999. Shout out to everyone who put this incredible roster together. Absolutely. Sheriff, thank you so very much. And I don't even need to add Sheriff or Turby to the created player raffle because they both have as many players as they want forever. Sheriff, thank you so very much, my friend. And that will very much be going towards the NHL 27 fund. So just between Sheriff and Turby, I believe NHL 27 is covered now. Now the rest of the fundraising can go towards the rest of the things that will be needed on the channel for the rest of the next 365 days. Nolan Foot scores in the first shot of the game. First for the Father Sons. First period ends 2-2. Foot and then Jarvis, then Kaprizov, followed by Gordie Howe. Second period, 3-2. Same thing with the colors here. Panarin puts up the Upper Deckers by 1. 3-2 Upper Deck into the third and final period. Sheriff, thank you, buddy. Yeah, Upper Deck now up 4-2. Barkov on the power play. That will likely put it to bed. 5 through the final as Barkov scores another. Ty Domi gets 1, but it's not enough as the Father Sons are also eliminated in a 5-game series. European brothers versus Canadian brothers. The Canadian brothers forced game 5. First period, and it's 1-0 Canadian brothers, Chris Tanev. Second period, no scoring. Shots are 28-4? You what? 28-4. Cagney, buddy, welcome to the stream. Long time no see, my friend. Shots are being multiplied by 7 right now. Third period, the 73 overall European squad not enjoying the slow sim as much, it looks like. 2-0 Kirby Doc of the Doc brothers. Hold on, Honka of the Honka brothers makes it 2-1. 1-goal game. Hold on, Brand Clark restoring the 2-goal lead. Shots are 34-14 for Canada. Final 3 minutes, and that'll be it. 4-1 the final. Brandon and Chris Tanev scoring in this one, the brothers, as they force game 6. All right. The Alberta Alliteration versus Honolulu Huskies 2.0. The Huskies were down 3-0. They won back-to-back now. Canadian Farm Boys all the way. About time those Canadians showed up. It's been a bit, but I'm nearly caught up on everything I missed. Been crazy busy with work and took a trip to Italy. Wow! Where'd you go in Italy? We're thinking about Italy next summer, potentially. But yeah, it's a great time to have to be able to catch up with no content for a few weeks here over the summer. We're at 50% for like to watch ratio. Let's fix that, says King Turby. Yes, leave that like if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen. It goes a long way to help. It'd be very much appreciated. First period, 0-0 after 20. Second period, 1-0 Huskies. McAvoy on the power play. Can the Huskies force game 7 and potentially have a reverse sweep, right? Wasn't it 3-0 in the series? Alliteration on the power play, cannot score. Monahan makes it 2-0 Huskies. And for anyone who's just joining the stream, you might want to go and watch back like minutes like 4 to 10 or something to see the story on each of these teams. Cagney went to see Marini and Gnome's jersey retirement IRL. I love that. 2-0 shutout victory for the Huskies, and they force game 7. All right, the Quebec favorites versus the in-laws. A team, what's the difference again in the overalls here? 95 overall favorites versus 84 overall in-laws. Here we go. Rome, Florence, Italian Riviera, and Milan with day stops in Orvieto and Lucca. It was great. Wow. Beautiful. Bellissima. Parli Italiano? Or just, pick up a few words? I looked all over for a Bellows jersey, but couldn't find any. Once we hit 10K subs, we'll start thinking about Palermo merch. Monahan wanting to be a 27 Husky. First period, 1-0. Thomas. Second period, 2-0 for the in-laws. Howie Morenz playing hero again now. The favorites, the 95 overall highest rated team in this tournament, down 2-0. And will they also see 7? Oh my goodness, Flatley makes it 3-0, and this ends 4-1 the final. 4-1, another series that's going to 7. I did not think that series was going to 7. The one-teamers versus the journeymen. Players made up of a team made up of players who have only played for one team versus a team of players who have played for 8 teams or more. First period, and it's 1-0 one-teamers. Jari Lehtinen, legend. Second period, 2-0, as Denis Potvin on the power play makes it 2-0. Can they close it out in 6? The one-teamers are close. Have I been saying one-timers? John P. Is he here? You tell me. 3-0. Kopitar on the power play. Call it a night. Whoa, 6-0. They score a lot of goals in the final. 3 goals in the final, 652. And the one-teamers take down the Jacksonville Journeymen in a 6-game series with a 6-0 victory. Richter with a 24-save shutout. 6-0 the final. Another series that is done. Canadian brothers versus European brothers. We're here, boys. Welcome in, buddy. Let's do it. First period, 2-0 Europeans, Soderblom and Nylander. Wow, can the 73 overall Europeans close it out? Second period, 2-2. The Canadian brothers say wait. Brant Clark on the power play and Chris Tanev shorthanded. 2-2 game into the final 20 minutes. Will we see 7? Power play Canadians killed off. Geeky makes it 3-2. Can the Europeans answer? They're being outshot 34-20. Canadians are fighting hard to pull off the reverse sweep. Power play goal, Morgan Geeky, another one. Connor Geeky scored twice a couple games ago. Now Morgan Geeky scores twice. Power play Europeans killed off. And that'll be all she wrote. We're off to 7. The Canadian brothers force 7. All right. So we have a few game 7s. You have 3 game 7s. All right. The Alberta Alliteration versus the Honolulu Huskies, as the Huskies are trying to pull off the reverse sweep, correct? Acqua naturale, per favore. That's all I said when I was there, and when I was, 15. Acqua frizzante? No. Acqua naturale, per favore. It was hot. Yeah, Florida was disgustingly hot, and our AC was broken. First period, 2-1 Huskies. Slavin answered by Barber, then Paschak puts them back up. Per favor. Second period, a Huskies reverse sweep would be insane. They might do it because they're up 5-2 with 20 minutes to go. Nino Niederreiter made it 2-1, but then Horvat, Caulfield twice. 3-goal lead for the Huskies as they're oh my goodness, they're going to do it. They're pulling off the reverse sweep against the Alberta Alliteration. They're going to do it, the Mad Lads. Wow, 9-2 the final. They're about to get swept. Then they won 12-3, 9-2. The Huskies love the slow sim, and they're through. Now, the Quebec favorites, this is a crazy one. The 95 overall team, already the 3rd highest overall team is out, or the 4th highest overall team. Stuart Skinner implosion. Now, they're the highest overall team in this competition. The 95 overall Quebec favorites against the 84 overall Roosters. Not Roosters, Easterlone In-Laws. First period, 2-1 favorites. Hossa opens it up. Geoffrion ties it. And then Zetterberg puts the favorites back up. The second period, 6-2 favorites. That's probably it. Sakic, Alfredson, Oates, Hossa. A goal from Ferraro on the In-Laws. 6-2 favorites, and that looks like that'll be all. 6-3, Flatley scores a shorthanded goal early. It's not done yet. 7-3. Ho chiesto il conto un'ora fa. Hold on a second. Sorry, hold on. Aspetta, Cagney. What did we just get here? This is... Hey, Wacky Bruce! Wacky Bruce, hope you had a blast on vacation. Welcome back. Dropping the 25. At 26.46 Canadian. I guess some conversion in there. 25.18 after fees and all that good stuff. Wacky Bruce, thank you so very much for the vacation wishes, for the welcome back, and for the donation. So that a $25 donation gets you 4 entries to the Created Player raffle. But because it's through the PayPal, those entries are tripled, and you will get 12 entries to the Created Player raffle. So let me add this right now. Wacky Bruce, you already had... Did you already have some? No, I don't think you did. Just that you won the raffle for the jersey. Wacky Bruce times 12. There you go. And it's perfect timing as Cagney also sends one in. Oh my goodness, for whatever may be needed for the upcoming data seasons. That is exactly what it is. Thank you so very much, Cagney. Ugh. I know it doesn't make a lot of, like, this... Hold on, let me just write. Cagney, we'll do 14, since that was a little bit more through the PayPal. We'll do 14 entries for Cagney. Cagney already had a bunch. Cagney had 46 entries. Cagney's up to 60 entries now. So during the year, like with full-time work for me and for my wife not working yet as she waits for like her work permit and things like that, these donations go way further than you know. Way further. Provides for the channel, but provides for our family. It really goes a long way. For a family with a mortgage, I'm a family of 2, but a family even though. And only 1 salary. All right, so the favorites win 8-3, and they hold off the upset to move on to round 2. Sorry for the delay there. I tried really hard to make an NHL broadcaster team, but there's about 600 goalies. 600 goalies and nobody else. Let's see. Sorry. Can you ask for the bill? So do we get the Desora channel takeover while Data's at work? Well, actually, Desora's been mostly at home the last year since she's not able to work, but starting at the end of this month and into September, she'll be able to now start taking French courses. The Quebec government offers French courses to people who are new to the province, and she's one of them. So she will be starting those. So even more reason to say we got more gas to pay for. All right, and the final series here in round 1, the European brothers versus the Canadian brothers. Can the Canadian brothers pull off the reverse sweep? First period, 2-1 Canadians. Shen and Strome opens it up. Willie Nee gives life to the Europeans, who are doubling the Canadians in shots. Second period, and 6-2 Canadians. Whoa! Suzuki opens it up. Jacob, welcome aboard, buddy. Willie Nee gets 1, but then Tanev, Doc, and Geeky, that'll be all she wrote. The Europeans are going to get reverse swept. Wow. 9-4 the final. Mozzie tapes. What's that, mosquito tape? Mozzie tapes. 9-4 the final. Shots ended pretty even, but the Canadians came out in full force and will not be swept. They pull off the reverse sweep. And we're through to round 2. All right, so after round 1, let's take a look at this. It'll now be the Huskies versus the 2 first names. The American brothers versus the NHL employees. The slow sim really hurt the alliteration and the European brothers, yes. The favorites versus the upper deck. And the one-teamers versus the Canadian brothers. All right. Any mismatches there? So it's the 88 versus Honolulu versus Tampa Bay is 88-82. Brothers versus employees is 85-87. Favorites versus Utah are the 2 heaviest hitters, 95 versus 92. And one-teamers versus Canadian brothers is 91 versus 83. All right, and we'll just also look at the points. It's a tape cassette from the 90s to learn French. Oh, really? I never heard about that. I learned French in the 90s, or late 90s, or really the early 2000s, I guess you could say. But I never heard of Mozzie tapes. Been doing the Duolingo, of course. So I'll just look at the entire league. I'll save each team for the end of the tournament. Or no, but it would be fun to know the storylines through each round, right? Yeah, okay, we'll do it very quickly. Alliteration, Bill Barber, Brian Bradley, Charlie Conacher. Sorry, I'm praying for American brothers versus Canadian brothers. That would be really something. Chris Chelios, so those guys with 5-4, 3 points. Goaltending from Stuart Skinner was tough, and Dryden allowed 8 goals on 21 shots. Dave Dryden. Okay, tough goaltending from the alliteration. California Cousins. Lindholm was point per game. Everyone else with 4. Oh, technically had 4. Everyone else had 3 or less. Goaltending. Mike Liat was a 1-3-1. Not the worst numbers for Some of the plus minuses, I don't know. The Canadian brothers, Kirby Doc, 9 points as an 83 overall in 7 games. The Makar and Radish duo there in defense, I guess, 8 points. It's probably not on the same pair. Shen, Geeky, Suzuki, lots of point per game plus players. Eric Comrie, 81 overalls, an 898 save percentage, but 2.74 goals against average. Dallas double L's, Robitaille 5 in 4. Hull had 4 points in 4 games, but sadly not enough. Glenn Hall, even a 906 save percentage and 2.9 goals against average, but 0-2 and 2 with a couple of overtime losses, sadly. European brothers, Jesper Bokvist had 7 points in 7 games. Willie Nee had 6 goals in 7 games. Honka, what? And Tony Honka, Julius Honka's brother, 73 overall, 5 points in 7 games. Goaltending, Arvid Soderblom, 3 and 4. I didn't know Eriksson Ek had a brother. European former first, Gabriel Carlson, first round pick in 2015, 3 points, -4 in 5 games. Who is this? Marc-Antoine Pouliot, of course, first round pick of the Oilers in 2003. 40 years old, Marc-Antoine Pouliot. Nikita Sherbak, love it. 26th overall pick of the Canadians once upon a time. 2 assists and a -2. So we had 3 multi-point players in 5 games. Henrik Borgstrom, 23rd in 2016, 1 goal, -5. Yikes. And goaltending, Dansk was 1 and 4 with an 896 save percentage, 3.73 goals against average. I think that was the best Hobbs could get with the 31st overall. Same thing. Frankfurt father-sons, Gordie Howe, 4 points in 5 games. That's it for Gordie. Keith Primo, 3 points in 5 games. That seems really fun to see the names. Yes, it is. Shane Doan, not much going for the father-sons. Mark Howe was a -7. Tough, really tough. Ty Domi, 16 penalty minutes. What's the physical on Ty Domi? We have 5 stars. Goaltending, Caden Primo, 1 and 4 with a 906 save percentage, 3.54 goals against average. Honolulu Huskies 2.0, Pasternak 10 points in 7 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 5 point per game plus players. And Wolf going 4-2 and 1 with a shutout. Easterlone in-laws, Steve Thomas, 85 overall, Steve Thomas. Point per game. Bernie Geoffrion, boom boom with 5 points in 7 games. Monahan, Stone, McAvoy. And Eddie Jackman, 3-3 and 1, 916 save percentage. Stand-up goalie. 70 overall, Carey Price. Came into play, 3 goals and 16 shots. I'm not going to bury the lead. If I manage to get another created player into the upcoming series, it will be No Noam Donash. Oh, Cagney, I love you, man. Speaking of Noam Donash, if anyone hasn't gotten their ballot in yet for the Data 782 Hall of Fame, there are only 39 ballots. The first Hall of Fame had like 90-something, then it was 50-something, then it was 40-something. So I'd love to be able to get something in the 40s or maybe even 50s for the Data 782 Hall of Fame. So if you haven't already cast your ballot, it would be a great time to do it. And anyone who casts a ballot gets automatically entered into a $100 NHL Shop gift card giveaway from Sheriff. So if you haven't already put in your ballot, do so that you can contribute and also get yourself in the running for a $100 gift card. There you go. That's all good. All right. Jacksonville journeyman, Paul Coffey, 6 points in 6 games for the 8 teams that he played for, right? Crazy. Housley, 6. Ashton, 5. Whitney, 5. Sadly, not too many high-scoring players here. Olli Jokinen, 84 overall. Mike Sillinger, the journeyman with 3 points in 6 games. Cam Talbot, 2 and 4. 875 save percentage. Sean Burke, 1 goal and 28 shots. That's good. New York NHL employees, Alex Steen, point per game. Briere, Brendamore, Coffey, St. Louis, Pekka, Guerin, all 3 points in 4 games. As Nicholas Backstrom went 4-0. There's Peter Budaj. I love Peter Budaj. But Nicholas Backstrom, why is it showing? Jason LaBarbera, but where is he? Is Jason LaBarbera even on that team, Hobbsy? But anyways, okay. 937 save percentage, 1.92 goals against average. Orlando one-teamers, Jean Béliveau, 10 points in 6 games. Kopitar with 9 and 6. Cournoyer, Eliash, and Milan Hajduk all with 7 points in 6 games. Milan Hajduk, one of my favorite players of all time. Mike Richter, 4-1 and 1. Quebec favorites, Messier and Sakic. All right, just so he's not showing up. With 8 points in 7 games. Yzerman, Solani, Lemieux, Alfredson. Where is Phil Danault? Oh, I guess he doesn't make the team 20 players, eh? Too bad. Goalies, Patrick Waugh, 4 and 3, 925 save percentage and 2.39 goals against average, and almost lost in 7. The two namers, Robert Thomas, 7 and 5, Morgan Riley, Troy Terry, both with 5 and 5. Goaltending, Jake Allen, 4 and 1 with 2 shutouts. USA Brothers, Jack Hughes, 8 points, Matthew Tkachuk, 6 points, Jason Robertson, 5, Brady Tkachuk, 5. Charlie Lindgren, 4-0-1 with a shutout, 2.11 goals against average. And Utah Upper Deck, Barkov, 6 points, 5 goals in 5 games. Hellebuck, 4 and 1 with a 930 save percentage. Sheesh, looking at everybody. David Pastrnak and Jean Beliveau lead the way in points right now. Amongst defensemen, it's Cale Makar and Darren Radish, who are, funnily enough, on the same team. Even Brand Clark is third. The top 3 defensemen are all on the same team. Wow. And goaltenders. Best save percentage for minimum 4 games played, let's say, would be Jake Allen. There you go. All right, let's get into round 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Game 1, round 2. The two namers versus the Huskies 2.0. Game 1, round 2. Let's do it. First period, and it's 2-0 Huskies. Anderson Pastrnak. Second period, 5-0. Third period, 6-0. Jake Allen, the best goalie, it looked like, gets blown up for 6 goals on 48 shots. And the Huskies win 6-0 against the Tampa Bay 2 first names. Next up, NHL employees versus USA Brothers. A 4-0 team versus a 4-1 team. Both rested, both ready. First period, and it's 2-0 NHL employees. Chris Draper and Marty St. Louis. Second period, 3-1, Michael Pekka. Then Ryan Leonard answers for USA Brothers. Third period, 4-2 the final. Rick Tocchet adding one more. And it's 4-2. The Slow Sim Huskies might be a problem. My goodness. Upper Decks versus Quebec Favorites, the 2 highest rated teams in this tournament. First period, 1-1, Modano and Theodore. Second period, 2-1, Erik Karlsson from the Favorites. Third period now, Favorites down, or up 2-1, and they win 4-1 the final as Sakic and Hossa add a couple more. 4-1 victory. One-teamers versus Canadian Brothers. Both teams that went 6 games or longer. First period, one-teamers up 3-0. Hartsburg, Kopitar, and Daze. Second period, 5-0. Daze and Cournoyer. Third period, 7-0 the final. Hayduk and Potvin. Wow. All right, so some big games there in Game 1 across the board. Game 2 now. Huskies up 1-0 against the two namers. First period, 4-0 Huskies. Yeah, I think you're right, Hobbsy. That Huskies team might be a problem. Second period, 7-0. Third period, 10-1. You what? 10-1. 15 points in 9 games from David Pastrnak. How many goals has this team scored? 46 goals in 9 games. They're averaging 5.11 goals per game. Huh? All right. NHL employees are a perfect 5-0 right now. First period, 1-0 Paul Coffey. Second period, 3-2 Brothers. So Chris Draper makes it 2-0, but then JVR, Matthew Tkachuk, and then Brady Tkachuk make it 3-2 for the American Brothers. Will the NHL employees lose their first game of the tournament so far? Third period, shots pretty even here, 25-24. Brady Tkachuk puts it to bed, 4-2 American Brothers, and the NHL employees, the last team to not lose, take their first L. Upper Deck versus Favorites now. Favorites up 1-0. First period, 0-0. Second period, 0-0. Third period, 2017 shots for Quebec. Power play Upper Deck killed off. 84-0 has a cool new mode where you guess the player based on a career path. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, 84-0, puck perfection, all that stuff, that's cool. I'd like to even, I don't know if we could work with them or something. That would be a cool way to, I don't know, somehow get involved with each other. We follow each other on Twitter, and I do their puzzles and reply to them pretty often. Overtime, 0-0 overtime. Wow, 2 amazing teams, and the Favorites win. Adam Oates wins it in overtime to put them up 2-0 in the series now. One-teamers versus Canadian Brothers for Game 2. First period, 2-0 one-teamers. Daze again and Cournoyer. They love to score and in together as well. 3-1 Daze again. That's 4 goals in 2 games. Brand Clark with the lone goal for the Canadian Brothers. One-teamers are up by 2. Canadian Brother power play killed off, and that'll be it. Cournoyer adds another on the power play. One-teamers win and are up 2-0 in the series. So 3 out of 4 series are 2-0. Huskies versus two namers. Huskies are undefeated in the slow sim. A perfect 6-0 in the slow sim, but 0-3 when we sim it. Eric Daze for Conn Smythe. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-0 Huskies. Chikrin and Caulfield. Third period now. Huskies looking to continue their streak. They've won 6 in a row. Parker Kelly and Ross Colton tied at 2, but then Pastrnak on the power play put the Huskies back up. 5-on-3 Honolulu power play. Chychrun restores the 2-goal cushion. Up 2-0, 2-2, 4-2. And that'll be it. 5 to the finals. Caulfield adds another. Caulfield scored a couple there, right? Yeah, 2 for him, 2 for Chychrun. And it is a 3-0 Huskies series. USA Brothers versus NHL Employees. 1-1 series. First period, 2-0 Brothers. Jason Robertson and Jack Hughes. Second period, 4-0. Jason Robertson completes the hat trick with 2 more goals. Call it a night, 5 to the final. Nick Robertson gets one as well. Steen and Draper get 2 goals, but not close to enough in a 5-2 loss. After going a perfect, they were 5-0. They win 5 in a row, now they've lost back-to-back. Quebec favorites versus the Upper Decks. Here we go. First period, favorites up 2-0. Cronwall scores twice. Wow. Second period, 2-1 Upper Decks. Zeev Boyum gets some life for the Utah squad. Marian Hossa restores the 2-goal lead. 3-1 favorites. Hold on, Kaprizov back to a 1-goal game. The 2 highest-rated teams going at it. 1-goal game with 10 minutes to go in the third. Will the Upper Decks be able to force overtime with 5 minutes to go? Time ticking away, and Zetterberg puts it to bed. 4-2 victory for the favorites. Now the one-teamers versus the Canadian Brothers, who are 4-5. Probably the worst team on paper, I suppose, left in this tournament. They're 4-5. They're also the lowest-rated team. No, the 2 names are the lowest-rated team. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Let me pull my screen back up. There you go. All right, here we go. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-0. O'Reilly and Cournoyer scores again. Wow, Yvan Cournoyer. Third period, the Canadian Brothers come back. 2-2 game. Ryan Strome and Dylan Strome, brothers with power play goals. Overtime now between the one-teamers and the Canadian Brothers. Next goal is the winner. Power play Canadian Brothers killed off. The Strome brothers. And the one-teamers win it. It's Jean Béliveau. 3-0 series now. So 3 out of 4 series are 3-0. All right, Huskies with a chance to sweep against the 4-4 two-namers. First period, 1-0 two-namers. Seamus Casey. Second period, 4-1 Huskies. Jenner, Anderson, Jenner, and Nugent Hopkins. Third period, put it to bed. 6-2 the final, as the Huskies sweep and are through to the third round. Hat-trick from Jenner. 5-assist night from Sean Monahan. What? 4-0 the final. All right, U.S. Brothers versus NHL Employees. Game 4 underway. First period, 1-0 Alex Steen. Second period, 2-0 Employees, as Lefebvre makes it 2-0 for the NHL Employees. 15 minutes ago, shots 29-17 for the Employees. 3-0, call it a night. Whoa, they come back, but not enough. Marty St. Louis makes it 3-0, and then Hughes and JVR score, but the Employees win 3-2 the final. Quebec favorites now with a chance to sweep the 4-4, 92 overall Upper Deck squad. 17 points in 11 games from Sean Monahan, by the way. First period, and it's 1-1 Kaprizov and Alfredson. Second period, 3-2 favorites. Kaprizov for the Upper Decks, but then Pronger and Sakic for the favorites. 1-goal lead for the favorites. Can they call it a series? 3-3, Hyman says not yet. Pat is out there somewhere yelling at the clouds. Zach Hyman ties it at 3. Final 10 minutes, shots are 33-28 for the Upper Deckers. Final 3 minutes, ish now, yeah, final 3 minutes. I was looking at the score. And we're off to overtime with a power play for the Quebec favorites to start overtime. Killed off. Can the Upper Decks live to fight another day? No, the Quebec favorites end it as Marc Messier wins it in overtime. The Quebec favorites are through with a 4-game sweep of the second highest rated team in this tournament. Now can the one-teamers beat the Canadian Brothers, who are 4-6? Let's see. The Canadian Brothers reverse swept the European Brothers. Can they reverse sweep the one-teamers? So they lost 3, won 4, and then lost 3 again. First period, 1-1 Strome and Brown. Second period, 3-1 Canadian Brothers, Strome and Shen. Canadian Brothers lead by 2 now, as I grab a sip. Brandon Tanev makes it 4-1. And that'll be it. The Canadian Brothers hold off and are not going to be swept. So 2 sweeps, and the rest were going on. So NHL Employees versus U.S. Brothers, that's a 2-2 series. Tightest series of the second round. First period, and it's very quickly 2-0 U.S. Brothers. Brady Tkachuk scores twice. Second period, 3-0 Ryan Leonard. And now Seth Jones. Shots are 30-15. 4-1 as Rick Nash gives the NHL employees some life. But that'll be it. 6-2 the final. Paul Coffey scored as well, but then Hughes and Robertson, Jack Hughes and Jason Robertson, 6-2 the final to put them up 3-2 in the series. Now, can the Canadian brothers continue to fight? Or will the one-teamers be able to end it in Game 5? First period, 3-1 one-teamers. Brown, Kopitar, and Hayduk. Connor Geekie for the Canadians. Second period, 4-3. Brown makes it 4-1, but then Geekie and Strome bring them back within 1. Shots are 24-16. Now Dylan Strome ties the game at 4. 5-4 Luke Shen. 6-4 Dylan Strome again. How many is that? 3 or 4 for Dylan Strome? 3. That hat trick for Dylan Strome. 6-4. 3 unanswered. 4 unanswered in the third period. Shorthanded Cale Makar. 7-4 the final. And the Canadian brothers continue to not go gentle into that good night. Oh my goodness. All right, U.S. brothers versus NHL employees. Can the U.S. brothers end this series here in Game 6? First period, 2-1 employees. Brian Campbell, JVR answers, then Nick Emerson, right? Puts them up. Second period, 3-1, Chris Draper. Employees are up by 2. Will this series see 7? U.S. brothers power play killed off. Employee power play killed off. Shots are 37-18. Call it a night. 4-1 the final. Rick Nash adds another. And that series is going to 7. Now, can the one-teamers end it now? Or will the Canadian brothers try for a back-to-back reverse sweep? Oh, Nelson Emerson. Thank you. All right, here we go. Game 6. First period, Canadian brothers have life. Potvin and Strome 1-1. Second period, 2-2. Bobby Clark, not Brent Clark. Bobby Clark and Colton Dock. 2-2 game. Third period of Game 6. Will the Canadian brothers force 7? Dylan Strome has been the hero. He scores on the power play. 3-2 Canadian brothers. Final 10 minutes now. Power play. Will that be enough? No! Eric Daze, who wants the Conn Smythe, ties it at 3. He doesn't want Game 7. 2 minutes to go, and we're off to overtime. A goal for the one-teamers sends them to the third round. A goal for the Canadian brothers forces 7. Here we go into overtime. Let's sim it, and the one-teamers ended in Game 6. Hartsburg ends it with a 4-3 victory. The Canadian brothers made a valiant effort. A very valiant effort, but they're out as they drop 4-3 in overtime. And the final series now will end 87 overall employees versus 85 overall brothers. Very close series, 7-3 versus 7-4. Here we go for the final spot in the third round. First period, and it's 2-0 for the NHL employees. The shots are tripled in the U.S. favor, 21-7, but it's 2-0 employees, Nash and Guerin. That's crazy. So, whoa, then what a comeback in the second. Nick Robertson, Jason Robertson, the brothers combine, and then James Van Riemsdyk, 3-2 U.S. From down to nothing, they're up 3-2. Still outshooting the employees, now 36-14. Third and final period of Game 7. Who's going through? Marty St. Louis ties it at 3. Martin St. Louis says, not yet. Power play U.S. killed off. 10 minutes to go. Shots are 42-18 for the U.S., but the NHL employees are using their experience. They're hanging on. 5 minutes to go. JVR scores his second. Will that be enough to move into the third round? Final minute, and it will be. The U.S. brothers are through. Whew, as JVR with 48 shots wins it. 2 goals from him. And now the third round matchups will be Honolulu versus the U.S. brothers and the one-teamers versus the Quebec favorites. Wow. So the Huskies and the favorites were teams that were built, but the themed teams, U.S. brothers and the one-teamers, are the ones that would be left for that. So through the entire tournament so far, Sean Monahan and Jack Hughes are tied with 17 points each. Defensemen Chikrin, Makar, and Radish have 14 points each. And for the goaltenders, let's see, yeah, so I guess, looking at everybody, I guess you could say that, yeah, Wolf, the best goalie right now, .937 save percentage and 1.79 goals against average. Makes sense. Wolf on the Huskies. Makes sense. Yeah, we'll just look at it like that. At the end, we'll look at everybody's team again one more time. All right. So now the overalls are the 88 overall Huskies, who are 8-3, versus the 85 overall Brothers, who are 8-4. Then it's the 95 overall Quebec Favorites. I don't know their record. Actually, I could look right here. The 95 overall Quebec Favorites, who are 8-3, versus the 91 overall Orlando one-teamers, who are 8-4. So everyone is 8-3 or 8-4. Go USA except the Kachucks. Yeah. Goals for per game. The Huskies are scoring 5.18 goals for per game and allowing only 1.91. The Journeymen allowed the most at 4.5. Lowest scoring team, former first at 1 goal per game each. Of the teams that are left, let's see here. Lowest scoring are the Quebec Favorites, actually. The highest overall team. Interesting. Best power play, the one-teamers. Best penalty kill, the Huskies. All right, here we go into round 3, ladies and gentlemen. Get your predictions in. And, well, yes. Okay, ready to go. U.S. Brothers versus Honolulu Huskies 2.0. First period, 0-0. Second period, Pasternak, Robertson, and Caulfield 2-1. I'm going to try and skip through these first 2 games a little faster. Third period, Huskies win 4-2, and they're up 1-0 in the series. Game 1 of the one-teamers versus the Favorites. Here we go. First period, 0-0. Second period, 2-1 Favorites. Sundin scores twice. Daze scoring again. Third period, 4-2 the final as the Favorites take game 1. I just got to see the Eric Daze numbers. 8 goals in 13 games from Eric Daze. Who has the most here? Yeah, 9 from Pasternak and Jenner. Daze is second in goal scoring, 84 overall. 4th round pick in 93. Love that turtleneck. Legend. All right, game 2, Huskies and U.S. Brothers. First period, 2-1 Huskies. Second period, 5-2 Huskies. How late was that goal scored? Okay, I thought it was 1 second left. Third period, 7-2 Huskies. They keep the goals just keep piling on for the Honolulu Huskies. Favorites versus one-teamers. Game 2. First period, 1-0. Patrick Elias for the one-teamers. Second period, 2-0 for the one-teamers. It's Yvan Cournoyer. Third period, 2-2. Daniel Alfredson scores twice in 5 seconds and forces overtime. Favorites on the power play to kick off overtime, and they win it! It's Matt Sundin! Sundin and Alfredson playing hero. Now in the Maple Leafs organization. What a comeback for the Quebec Favorites, as they now have a 2-0 series lead. 21 points from Pasternak in 13 games. All right, here we go. Huskies versus U.S. Brothers for Game 3. First period, 1-1. Jason Robertson and Macklin Celebrini. Don't bring that up, I'm sorry. Second period, 3-2 Huskies. JVR scores early, but then McAvoy ties it, and Mathieu Olivier puts the Huskies up. 3-2. Hold on. John Leonard ties it at 3, 20 seconds into the period. Power play Brothers killed off. Power play Honolulu. There's a power play goal from Brandon Hagel. Cole Caulfield makes it 5-3. I'm missing a good aloha Honolulu. Matthew Tkachuk gives the Brothers a little bit of a chance here. Down by 1 with 6 minutes to go. And there you go. Matthew Tkachuk scores again. 5-5 into the final 2 minutes. 2 late goals from Matthew Tkachuk, and we're off to overtime. The U.S. Brothers don't want to go down 3-0. Power play U.S. killed off. Power play Huskies. All back to even strength here, and the Huskies win 6-5. Hold on, I was looking through the channel playlist at the franchise modes. I noticed a SpongeBob gameplay. Yes, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. The playthrough is there. One of my highest viewership series, actually. Chychrun wins in overtime, and the Huskies are up 3-0 in their series. Wow. All right, the Favorites are 10-3. They're taking on the 8-6 one-teamers, up 2-0 in the series. You love to see it. Yes, sir. First period, 2-0 Favorites, Solani and Alfredson. Second period, 3-2. Potvin and Slater tie the game before Brad Richards puts the Favorites back up. Let me get another sip here. Mario Lemieux up 4-2. Have you played the Spider-Man games? A data playthrough of those could be fun. Well, I did. You know, I did the playthrough of the original one, right? Drew Doughty for the one-teamers makes it 4-3. The original Marvel PS4 Spider-Man game, I did a guide back in like 2019 or 2020, whatever that was. think it was 2019. Once upon a time. Favorites win 4-3. Crazy to see that now. That both teams in the final round are up 3-0. Will there be any chance for reverse sweeps, or will it be Honolulu versus Quebec? Here we go. Game 4, Huskies versus U.S. Brothers. First period, 1-1. Sealer answered by Hughes. Quinn Hughes. Second period, 3-2. Yes, the original game I did do that. John Leonard and Jack Hughes puts the brothers up 3-1 before Pasternak scores to make it 3-2. U.S. Brothers lead by 1. Can they put a stop to the Huskies' 11-game winning streak here? Macklin Celebrini ties the game at 3. How could it be that they lost 3 games in a row and now they've won 11? If it was in the menu sim, I bet they would have been eliminated by now. 3-3 with 5 minutes to go. Next goal's the winner. The U.S. Brothers trying to survive, outshooting almost by double, 41-24. The brothers are 3-3. And it's an overtime victory for Nick Sealer. The Huskies are through to the final of the NHL 26 Summer Tournament Extravaganza. U.S. Brothers get swept, and they are done. All right, Quebec favorites versus the Orlando One-Teamers. Here we go into Game 4. Jean Beliveau scores in the first shot of the game. First period, it's 2-1 favorites, Hossa and Lemieux. Second period, 2-2. Jean Beliveau, son deuxième. He scores his second goal. Shots are 21-20 for the One-Teamers. 2-2 into the third and final period. Power play One-Teamers killed off. Then Anze Kopitar puts the One-Teamers up. They do not want to be swept. Will we see 2 sweeps moving into the final? Power play One-Teamers killed off. Can the Quebec favorites tie this game? Power play for them killed off. Final 5 minutes. 2 minutes to go. Henrik Zetterberg scores to tie the game at 3. And we're off to overtime. Can the favorites score back-to-back and end the series? Or will the One-Teamers survive? Yes, they do. Anze Kopitar, 2 from Beliveau, 2 from Kopitar. And the One-Teamers survive to see Game 5. All right, here we go. First period of Game 5, 2-0 favorites, Modano and Solani. Second period, 3-2. Solani makes it 3-0, but then Lettinen scores twice on Patrick Roy. Shots are 22-16 for the One-Teamers, but the favorites lead 3-2. Can they end it here in Game 5? Hold on, Cornway ties the series at 3. The NHL 20 Sharks live streams were all so long. Yeah, because I think that was just a live stream series. Yeah, that was just a live stream series of 3 or 4 seasons of 3 or 4 hours each, yeah. Jean Beliveau puts the One-Teamers up 4-3. From down 3-2, they now lead 4-3. And they hold off the sweep, they fight for Game 5, and now they've forced Game 6. Hartsburg adds an empty netter, and the One-Teamers are forcing Game 6. Don't say, never say never, don't say die attitude. 3-4 hours used to be so long. Now it's still long, but a bit more common. Game 6, can the One-Teamers force 7? First period, 1-0 favorites, Mario Lemieux. Second period, no scoring. Shots are 27-15 for the favorites. They want to put this to bed. But hold on, Ken Danico ties the game before Solani scores a power play goal. 2-1 favorites. Power play favorites again. Mario Lemieux on the power play. 2-goal lead for the favorites. Will that be enough? Shots 37-19. The One-Teamers got to get shots on net. And we're down to the final 6 minutes now. Looks like the One-Teamers had a good fight in them, forcing Game 5 and forcing Game 6, but it won't be enough as the favorites are through to face off against the Huskies in the Summer Tournament Extravaganza Final. All right. Through 3 rounds, David Pasternak, 12 goals and 23 points to lead the tournament. Jack Hughes, 22. Horvat and Hagel with 21 each. Beliveau and Monahan with 20 points each. Defensemen, Chychrun with 17 and 15. Goaltending, Patrick Roy probably has the best numbers here. Yeah, Patrick Roy, 929 save percentage. So 2 very good goalies here. Patrick Roy, 929 and 2.25 versus Dustin Wolf, who is also 929 with 2.13 goals against average. Less losses, less games played. Yeah, less losses, 1 more shutout. What a battle of the goaltending this will be between Dustin Wolf, 87, and Patrick Roy, 96. Excuse me. Wow. Looking at the 2 teams here in the wins as well. So Huskies 5.2 goals for per game and 2.2 goals against. Favorites only 3.35 goals for per game and 2.41 goals against. Power plays are almost identical, 29.8 for Quebec, 29.5 for Honolulu. Power play 93.2 for Honolulu, 89.6 for Quebec. The numbers would tell you that it's Honolulu's series, but you never know what might happen in the slow sim, right? Here we go for the Summer Tournament Extravaganza Final, the 12-5, 95 overall Quebec favorites versus the 12-3, 88 overall Honolulu Huskies 2.0. A great team, but 7 overall less, 95 versus 88. The Huskies lost the first 3 games of the tournament and have now won 12 in a row. Here we go for Game 1. First period, and it's 2-0 favorites, Selanne and Sakic. What a final this is. Second period, 2-1. David Pastrnak, his 13th goal, gives the Huskies some life. Power play Honolulu, 5-on-3, all killed off. The favorites are up 2-1. Yeah, great finals matchup, absolutely. Leave a like if you haven't already for a matchup like this one. And remember, the any donations on YouTube or on PayPal are doubled and tripled on PayPal for the created player raffle tonight as we try to fundraise for NHL 27 and beyond. Josh Anderson scores late, but it's not enough as Alfredsson's goal proves to be the winner. Shots end 40-33, and the favorites win 3-2 to make Honolulu, or to hand Honolulu their first loss in 12 games. 3 losses, 12 wins, and now their first loss since Game 3 of Round 1. Here we go into Game 2. First period, 2-1 Huskies. Sundin opens it up, and then Pastrnak his 14th, and Olivier makes it 2-1. Second period, 3-2. The favorites push back. Zetterberg, and I think Steve Yzerman's first goal, first or second, on the power play. The favorites lead, and now it's all Sundin and Selanne, it feels like. Sundin on the power play, 4-2, even Alfredsson. Huskies' power plays are killed off. 4-2 for the favorites. Into the final 10 minutes here. 5 minutes to go, and that'll be a 2-0 series lead for the favorites. Shots end tied at 38. Sundin, 2 goals and assists. Patrick Waugh holding it down. 2-0 series. You know what happened the last time the Huskies had their backs against the wall? Let's do it. Game 3. The Huskies see this as a must-win. First period, 1-1 Lemieux and Rasmus Andersson on the power play. Second period, 3-2 favorites. Zetterberg scores shorthanded. Celebrini ties it on the power play. Lemieux puts them back up. Shots 21-18 for the favorites, and it's 3-2 for them. Up by 1, Honolulu down. Not wanting to go down 3-0 in the series. Power play favorites. Extended opportunity, 5-on-3. Oh, such a long chance there. All killed off. Power play Honolulu killed off. That was their chance. Huge chance with momentum back in their favor. And the favorites, ladies and gentlemen, have a 3-0 series lead. Will it be a sweep? Wow. Lose 3, win 12, lose 3. The Huskies are 12-6. The favorites are 15-5. Game 4 for the favorites. First period, 1-1. Lemieux answered by Pastrnak. Second period, 3-2 favorites. Again, a 3-2 game headed into the third period. Caulfield in the power play, then Lemieux and Zetterberg. Shots are 30-14, more than double in Quebec's favor. The favorites. Power play Huskies, 5-on-3. This is their chance. Charlie McAvoy power play goal. Celebrini puts them up as well, 4-3. They have barely led this series. 5-on-3 power play for the favorites. Killed off. Huge penalty kill for Honolulu. Trying to hang on. Yeah, we will go in if it's the end, but it doesn't look like it will be, as Honolulu's hanging on. Power play favorites late. Oh, Steve Yzerman! Wow! With a minute left! The favorites force overtime. Shots end 38-27 for the favorites through regulation. 4-4, and we're headed to overtime. 4-4, and we're headed to overtime. Stevie Y with a late goal. A goal for the favorites will win them the tournament. A goal for the Huskies will force this series to Game 5. Look at these ratings. Huskies 93, 86, 86. Favorites are 100, 92, 95. Here we go. Actually, I'm going to change it to broadcast since we're not really following one team or the other. We like broadcast, true broadcast. I always forget. Mighty Joe and Data contributing to Steve on the team, and he forces overtime. There you go. That's why he made the team. True broadcast. Kyle Wood with these Huskies. Is he on this Husky team? He's on one of the teams, but I don't think he's actually playing at all because his overall isn't high enough. All right. Okay, he's with the Huskies. Gotcha. That's what the team needs. I gotta try. Oh, hold on. Power play coming up. Hey, Huskies took a penalty. Terrible timing. If we could influence the lines, I would put Kyle Wood in. What's this here? What are they talking about? Okay, thank you. Well, cross-check or something? Yeah, Hagel cross-check that went through his back. Alright, Brandon Hagel for... Can I skip this, please? No. Cross-checking. I have to watch this whole thing. Oh. Offensive zone face-off for the favorites. Lindstrom, Sundin, can they end it here on an early power play in overtime? Again, another one? What? They took another penalty? What? You're kidding me. Now it's going to have 5-on-3. This is over for sure. I think they're supposed to be... Okay. Could be these playing. Charlie McAvoy. That's a penalty? Are you kidding me? Alright, and now it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play. For the Quebec favorites. A goal for this wins them the tournament. That's his own face-off from the point. Big save, rebound, good poke from Wolf. Can the Huskies kill this off? This would be crazy huge. At least it's like a full, you know, like when, like they both come back at the same time pretty much. You can say that's a benefit. Let's see how they do here. This power play one has to be loaded, I'm sure it is. Solani, Lidstrom, Sakic, Lemieux, and who's number 10? Lemieux takes a deflection and score. Hat-trick to win the tournament! Of course it's a fluke deflection, but congratulations, the Quebec favorites win the tournament! Sweeping the Husky 2.0 squad. Stanley Cup champions in this that's what they win, I guess, in this tournament. We somehow got the Hall of Fame to give us the cup to loan it for the weekend. What a fluke, but that's hilarious. And then the hats are all over the ice. This happened once in a series where a hat-trick goal won them the cup and there was hats everywhere. I love this. Lemieux wins the Conn Smythe with 25 points. There he is, the captain, Super Mario. With hats all over the ice. That's the hat-trick cup-clinching goal. Mario Lemieux wins it for the Quebec favorites.
So much fun. You can feel and sense the dream is alive. It is right there, and I'm really curious to see who hoists it over their head first, James.
And here comes Super Mario to raise the cup. I don't have control of the team, so we'll see who the CPU gives it to. Raising Lord Stanley one more time. Do we had a full calendar sim to see if the results are any different? Like put them into a custom league for franchise mode? Oh, I like that. Sure, we can do that. Let's see what the computer gives it to next. Patty? No. Sakic? No. Why can't I just choose someone? Why does it have to go up and down? This is not me controlling it, by the way. This is the computer doing this. Solani gets it next. There you go. Teemu. That's not what I meant, but that's a much better idea. I'm not sure if it has to be franchise mode or season mode. Probably franchise mode because it has to be custom league. Sure, we can do that fast. Why not? Who got it next? Patrick Waugh.
You know, for some routines, Cheryl, you say it's old hat. I don't think winning the Stanley Cup multiple times ever gets.
You don't want to give it to Carlson, nope.
James, and it's no fluke, right? You know that he plays in the regular season, how difficult it is to make the playoffs, and then to be able to go round after round. I'm telling you, he's seasoned, and
hey, Andre. Hey, Data, will we be getting HLM 27? Yes, I actually already have it. I have early access. I do already have it, and there will be HLM 27 content coming your way on the channel at some point. I'm sorry, who got it last year? Iserman. Sorry, I barely even looked. Hope your break was good as well. Thank you very much. It was nice and restful. Celebrating our first anniversary. Very nice. And there you go. Iserman wearing 4 is very weird. There you go. Take that picture, ladies and gentlemen. It will last a lifetime. Look at all those faces. You can definitely recognize. Lemieux loves it. Yes, sir. Lidstrom, Messier. What a squad. Do they get their names in the cup too? Hey, I love it. Let's see the full squad one last time. Lemieux, Alfredson, Bork, Dano, who didn't play, Di Pietro, Hedberg, Hossa, Carlson, Gasparitis, Cronwall, Lidstrom, Messier, Medano, Oates, Paik, right? Pronger, Richards, Roy, Sakic, Solani, Sandin, Iserman, and Zetterberg. Shots ended 40-27, that overtime winner, and those penalties killed the Huskies. Quebec favorites win the cup. All right. So looking at the end of the numbers, Pasternak probably should have won the Conn Smythe, even though he didn't win the cup. 15 goals and 26 points, 4 more goals, 1 more point, a better plus-minus by 4 in 2 less games than Mario Lemieux did. So Pasternak would probably be the MVP of the tournament, I would say. Let in goals, let in points. Yeah. Worst plus-minus? Yannick Weber, -7. All right. In defense, Chychrun, 18 points and a +15 in 19 games. Goaltenders, yeah, Patrick Waugh, 928 save percentage, 2.3 goals against average, 16-4-1. Him and Wolf were crazy. Worst goalie, Dryden. Talbot, who played 6. Yeah, Talbot and Comrie weren't so hot. All right, look at each team one last time. Except for the ones who only played 1 round. We already saw them. The brothers, Canadian brothers, Makar and Radish led the team. 7 goals from Dylan Strome as well. Poor Dave Dryden, I know. And they were the Canadian brothers. Canadian brothers look like that. Dallas Doubles. We saw European brothers. No, we already saw them. Former first, we already saw. We already saw these guys. Huskies, Pasternak, Horvat, Hagel, Monahan. 4 players who scored 22 points or more in 19 games. Wow, goal scoring fell apart though a little bit. Not fell apart, but dried up against Patrick Waugh. Caulfield, Chychrun, 18 points each. Goaltending, Dustin Wolf was a machine. New York here, yes. The New York NHL employees, 11 points in 11 games from Paul Coffey, 10 from St. Louis, 7 from Briere and Steen. Nash, Draper, Brendamore, Tocchet, Guerin. Nicholas Backstrom was decent. Orlando won teams, 20 points in 18 games from Jean Béliveau, 18 and 18 from Patrick Eliash, 8 goals and 17 points from Cornwallis. Scoring drying up against Patrick Waugh shouldn't be much of a surprise. Yeah, it makes sense. Daze had his 8 goals and 12 points. Richter 10-6-2, 908 save percentage, 2.85 goals against average. Quebec favorites, Lemieux 25, Messier 22. So the team as a whole, Honolulu was better, I think. Solani 10 goals, 17 points. Sakic 17. Zetterberg and Iserman with 12. Daze had a ridiculous second round and finished a -3. Maybe the power play goals. Patrick Waugh with those numbers that we saw before as well. Tampa Bay we saw. U.S. brothers, Jack Hughes, 22 points in 16 games. He was crazy as well. Matthew Tkachuk and Brady Tkachuk, both with 17 points each. Robertson, 16. JVR at 7 goals and 11 points. That's an 81 overall. Nick Robertson, 7 goals. Has an 82 overall. Lindgren, 8-5-3. 1 shutout, 904 save percentage, 3.18 goals against average. And the upper deck, all-stars here. The Utah upper deck, Kaprizov, 9 points in 9 games. Panarin, same thing. Nick Robertson, great tourney. And goaltenders, Hellbuck, 4-3-2, 917 save percentage. Didn't quite have the Wolf or Waugh numbers, but 2.43 goals against average was great. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is our tournament. Let's also check out the player stats, and we'll run a quick franchise mode sim just for fun. But yeah, Honolulu, the highest scoring team with 88 goals for. Quebec favorites were the 5th highest scoring team. That's crazy. but the best in goals against. Yeah. And here's the final look at the bracket. There was a good number of sweeps, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 sweeps. I meant to ask this, but I remember seeing a T. O'Reilly as the healthy scratch in the last season of the extended sim in the Bruins series. Was that an Easter egg or just a crazy coincidence? Oh, that must be a crazy coincidence. Good eye, but yeah, that's probably a coincidence. Let's see here. Did anyone send in any more ballots? Oh, someone did send in a ballot. We're at 40 responses now. Thank you very much, whoever sent that in. Free entry for a $100 gift card. Why not? Now what we'll do is quickly sim a season in franchise mode, just to see how these teams do. Why not? Give me a second to set this up. Okay. All these Detroit sims. Wow, look at all these Detroit sims. I'll keep a few for memories. All right. Custom league. $16 teams. No conferences or divisions. We'll just have them play. Salary cap off. 82 games. Yes. No, that's fine. Playoffs. Let's say the top 8 teams make the playoffs of the 16. All right. Go. All right, let's start subbing them in. Alberta. This is gonna be fun. This could be a whole. This could have been a whole stream by itself. But we're not really, we're not managing any teams or anything, right? We're just watching. Kind of part 2 of the tournament. Hey, the Dallas Stars get replaced by the Dallas Double L's. This is what the game thinks about their ratings and things like that as well before we get started. Frankfurt. You even made Diamond Head Arena? Did you do that, Hobbsy? I saw that. Hold on. In-laws house. Hold on, sorry. In-laws house, Diamond Head Arena. Yes, that's where the Huskies play. The Family Center, the #1 center, Brothers Barn, LL Arena, Brothers Place, Cousins Place. Wow, I love it. In-laws house. The suitcase. The journeyman played with the suitcase. I love that too. The journeyman play at the suitcase. The New York NHL employees play at NHL HQ. The Orlando 1 teams play at Solo Stadium. This guy's good. The Quebec favorites play at the Palace. Malice at the Palace. The Tampa Bay 2 first names play at Double Name Arena. The US brothers play at Brothers Barn, same as the Canadians, I suppose. Who am I missing here? Calgary Flames. And the Flames are the Upper Decks. Upper Deck Arena. Right? Good. So what do you think about these guys? Just gives you your top players, eh? Yeah, that's it. Alright, continue. There's no division alignment. I have to choose a team, eh? I guess I'll control the lowest rated one, why not? But, or sorry, the former first of all. It doesn't matter who I control. Unless it's better that I control the Quebec favorites because they have a better chance of being in the finals and we want to go see the finals. Maybe. Okay, I guess I'll control them, but not really doing any control. Owner mode, trades, fog of war, all that off. No injuries. It's gonna be calling people up and down and all that. Quick settings. Injuries off. Where did Diamond Head Arena come from anyway? I think it's one of the islands or volcanoes in Honolulu. Waivers off. Auto scouting and all that is on. Injuries are off anyways. Scoring and all that medium, everything. There's no trading or waivers, so that should be fine, and no injuries. No morale meetings, obviously. Retired jerseys off, because there's going to be a lot of players with retired jerseys. And sliders, we'll move up the attributes. Alright. There we go. Let's sim this season. If there's interest, I'll do another tourney for NHL 27, open to any and all team suggestions, says Hobbsy. Thank you, Hobbsy. Alright, so we're just simming the season. There's nothing else that we're doing. Let's sim the season and see where it brings us. Rick Kavanaugh wants to talk to us? Sure. How are you, Rick? There you go. I wonder in a full season how things would look. Can you see how the AI sets up the team lines? Sure, yeah. Look at view lines. Here's Alberta. You can pause what you want to see, but here's the Alberta alliteration. Wait, hold on. Taking, because Poitras, for example, is in the organization and they called him up. For lower overall teams, they're going to do that. That's true. Lower overall teams are going to be calling up players to play. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but... Unless we trade for Poitras and then bury him. Because this was Boston, right? Yeah, here, give me Poitras. Go cheer in the streets. Okay, back to here. Alright, that's better. Alliteration, offense, defense. Sammy Salo, love that. Goaltending. California Cousins. Canadian Brothers. Dallas Double L's. Glenn Hall, 93 overall. Wow. European Brothers. Yeah, like Nate Danielson, Austin Watson, but it's alright. They're low enough. Anyone in the top 6 I would trade for to make it, to fix it. But Eric Gustafson wasn't in this lineup. Yeah, Gustafson... Suter, Bortuzzo, hold on a second. Hall. Let's fix the defense here. What is it on the European Brothers? Yeah. 1, 2. Doesn't Hall won't come. 3, 4, 5. I'll take all these guys. There you go. John Leonard was there too? No, John Leonard is that's his brother Ryan Leonard on the American Brothers. Unless it was on the European Brothers you saw him? Okay, here, John Leonard, yeah. I'll trade for these guys as well. I have more than 45 skaters. I can't take all these guys. As I trade back whatever junk's down here. Probably doing too much here, but whatever. I mean, with a first, you don't want to do that. What? There you go. Alright, sorry about that. So now, in roster moves, anyone I gotta send down? Yeah. Are we done here now? Okay, thanks for bringing me. I didn't think about these issues with the franchise one. Yeah, it's okay. You weren't, not your fault. All right, so now Europe looks a little bit better. Still not perfect, but a little bit better. Especially on defense. Better in terms of more accurate to what we wanted the team to look like. Europe former firsts. Love this team. Bushelnikov, there he is. Frankfurt father sons. Honolulu stacked. Crazy defense as well. In-laws. Journeyman. Half that forward core is AHL call-ups, I think, but that's because the overalls are so bad. Yeah, can't do anything about it. That's all right. NHL employees. One-teamers. Cornway is only an 89 overall. Really? Two first-namers. U.S. Brothers. Quinn Hudson's there with Lane Hudson, yeah. And Utah Upper Deck. Danton Heinen, the imposter on one of the teams. Did you see which team it was? Orlando? There he is, Danton Heinen. Why is he playing there? I got you. All right, Orlando. Yes. Give me... he doesn't want to come here. Hey, neither does Ryan Graves. All right, forget it. All right, now I'm done. Now we're gonna keep. Now we'll actually sim. This will just take a couple minutes here. We're gonna sim, see what the results are, and then call it a night. Thanks for being here, everybody, for the summer extravaganza to close off NHL 26. '95 overall team, and we're like 6-5. The 73 overall team shuts us out 3-0. What? A difference of overall of 22. Yes, Hobbsy. We most certainly did enjoy. Everyone, make sure you say a huge thank you to Hobbsy, whether you're watching now or in the future, in the comments, in the Discord. Thank you for putting this all together. The Father Sons are currently leading the NHL. What? The Father Sons. What was their overall again? The Father Sons. They were an 84 overall team, and they're leading the league. I love it. Okay, we're pulling away now. Good. 27, 10, and 4, but the Father Sons are 29, whatever. Actually, the Upper Decks are in front now. 33, 7, and 4. Interesting. Double L's are struggling the most, it seems like. That's a 90 overall team. The 90 overall team, Double L's, are in 7th. Who's at the absolute bottom? Double L's are 26, 21, and 5. Barely in the playoffs right now. What are the Cousins? Cousins are 84 overall. All right, we'll wait and see. Hobbsy, maybe you could add that Google Sheet to the data archive. Because honestly, I've probably never opened that sheet again if I have to go find a link somewhere. If it's a thing under like tournament history or something on the main archive, maybe we'd be able to find it there in the future. I don't know. 6 of the 8 teams have clinched the playoffs. 2 spots are left. All 8 are now taken with 2 games left in the season. All right. So through 82 games. Sounds good, buddy. Let's have everyone play game 82. All right. Through 82 games, let's see how things ended up shaping out. All right. So in the entire league, let's go from bottom to top. At the bottom of the league, we have the Europe former firsts. Yes, the 60. What are they? The 63 overall Europe former firsts go 20, 54, and 8. The Europe brothers 73 overall go 31, 43, and 8. That isn't a shock. Now, the Tampa Bay 2 first names. This was an 82 overall team, 32, 44, and 6. The Canadian brothers, an 83 overall team, 32, 43, and 7. Jacksonville Journeymen, an 80 overall team. You would have thought maybe they would have been second last. No, they made 12th. Not 14th, not 15th. They were 12th. Good for them. The In-Laws, that was an 80... Where was that? 84 overall team. They go 33, 38, and 11. The Orlando One-Teamers, 91 overall. They missed the playoffs. The 4th highest rated team misses the playoffs, finishes 10th, going 39, 35, and 8. The Alberta Alliteration, 86 overall, missed the playoffs, 41, 34, and 7. Now, squeaking in the playoffs, the Dallas Double L's, 90 overall, just making it in with 44 wins. The USA Brothers, which was an 85 overall team, 48, 30, and 4. In-laws, we don't get to see the in-laws house or the suitcase. Too bad. The Frankfurt Father Sons, 84 overall. They go 47, 28, and 7. Wow. New York NHL employees, 87 overall, go 45, 26, and 11. California Cousins, 84 overall, go 50, 29, and 3. Quebec Favorites, 95 overall, go 51, 20, and 11. Honolulu Huskies, 88 overall, go 55, 20, and 7. And the Utah Upper Deck, 92 overall, go 56, 18, and 8. Highest scoring team in the league, Quebec Favorites with 4 goals per game. Lowest scoring, Europe former firsts. Yep. Highest goals against was Europe former first. The best goals against was Utah at 2.45 goals against. Best power play, 20.9% for the California Cousins. The worst power play. One of the worst power plays, actually Utah, only 12.7. Penalty kill, the best, 88.4 to Orlando. Wow. Quebec favorites for the win here, boys. They win the tournament. Can they win the season? Best home record was Utah. Best away record, Quebec. Quebec favorites going into the playoffs, though, 3-4-3 in their last 10. Who took the most penalties? Well, actually, yeah, we could look at this here. Hang on. Okay. See, times shorthanded. Alberta alliteration took the most penalties, 305 times shorthanded. Least amount, yeah, 4 teams in the playoffs. Huskies and Utah, both 192 times shorthanded. It's like 113 more times there. All right, Mario Lemieux, 103 points, leading the Quebec favorites. Let's see the entire league. It was Mario Lemieux with 103 points. I thought it'd be the father-sons with Ty Domi. No, we'll see with the penalty minutes, though. Lemieux, 103 points. Gordie Howe, 102 on the father-sons. Pastrnak, 98 on the Huskies. Thornton, 92 on the Cousins. Hull, 91 on the double L's. Horvat, 91 on the Cousins. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The top 5 scorers were from 5 different teams. That's cool. Best plus minus, Messier plus 58. Worst was Sherbak as a negative 61. Most penalty minutes, Boakfist with 0 in 82 games. Wow. And 42 points. Give him the Lady Bing. Most penalty minutes, Marcus Foligno, 197. The Domies aren't even up here. What? Most ice time, Paul Coffey, 2603. Both Paul Coffeys. Most hits, Matthew Tkachuk, 246. Most blocks, Carlson. Hakanpa doesn't count. He wasn't supposed to be there. 147. Most giveaways. I don't think Kokinen was part of it. Probably Willie Mitchell at 100. Most takeaways, Matthew Tkachuk, 178. Most fights, 28 fights from Marcus Foligno. 19 from Corey Perry. 18 from Darius Kasparaitis. Ty Domi had 11 fights. Wow. Only 67 penalty minutes, and 55 of them from fighting. Wow. Defense, we see the 2 Paul Coffeys at the top. Probably on Paul Coffey with NHL employees, then Quinn Hughes, Makar, and Paul Coffey with the journeyman. Goalies now. Dustin Wolf, 49 wins. Let's say minimum 50 games played. Connor Hellebuck, 924 save percentage to lead the league. Goals against average, also Connor Hellebuck with 2.32. So Hellebuck, Wolf, Roy, Liot actually as well, as only an 82. And there you go. Playoff time, ladies and gentlemen. Then the awards, and then we call it. All right, let's see. Round 1 matchups. Against the father-sons. Mighty Joe stopping in to say hello and welcome back. Sorry I can't make it tonight. Have a good night and enjoy, everyone. Data will send care package for the stream tomorrow via PayPal. You know, Mighty Joe, we've surpassed what we needed. You do what you want to do, but we've surpassed what we needed. Just know that. Thank you, my friend. Great to hear from you. Have a great night, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts after you catch up. So we squeak out a 6-game victory against the father-sons, go to face the Huskies in a tournament rematch, beat them in 5 games. Now here we are in the Cup final. Hold on, let's pause here. Let's go to game 4 maybe, yeah. Cup final here against the NHL employees. The Quebec favorites, are they going to win it again? Against the NHL employees, look at this. Here we are in the final, 1 win away. So in the playoff tree, it was 1 versus 8, and Dallas, the double L's, pull off the upset of 1 versus 8. New York pulls off the upset of 5 versus 4 in 6 games. Honolulu beats 2 versus 7, beats US in 5 games. And Quebec 3 versus 6 wins in 5 games. Then it was 8 versus 5. New York, the 5th seed, wins. Then Honolulu versus Quebec, 2 versus 3. Quebec wins. Now it's the 3 seed versus the 5 seed in the final. Quebec up 3 games to 1. Will this be the cup clinching game? First period, favorites up 1-0. 5-0, yes. The favorites will win the tournament and also win the cup. So the team, you can kind of call it the channel member team as well. the favorite players of the channel members here at Data782 Incorporated. Let us know their favorite players. We built a team off of them, and they will not only win the tournament, they'll also win the cup here in a Stanley Cup repeat. I mean, actually, you know what? I don't think we'll go in to see it. It's the exact same thing. It's going to be the exact same thing on Quebec ice to see the same players raise the cup and all that. And that's why you should be a channel member. You can be included in things like this. Exactly. 5-game cup victory for the cup. Hey, I even got a trophy. Craft your glory. Trophy earned. Win a championship in a custom league. Hey, cool. I got a trophy. Okay. So now, if it was a different team, I'd say let's watch. Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Got a sim. I want to see the awards. We have to wait till the AHL season is done. Rochester Americans win. Now let's see the awards. Actually, playoff scoring first. Lemieux had 21 points in 15 games in the entire league. 23 in 17 from Paul Coffey. Goalies Patrick Wall again. 12 and 3 is the hero. Some tough numbers in other places. And the awards for the season of the custom tournament players. Quebec wins the Cup. Utah wins the President's Trophy. Mario Lemieux wins the Art Ross and the Hart Trophy. James Norris goes to Paul Coffey on the NHL Employees. Lady Bing to Mario Lemieux. How many penalty minutes did Lemieux have? Both of us had 0 penalty minutes. Lemieux had 13 penalty minutes and 103 points, I guess, with the ratios of whatever. Calder goes to Ryan Leonard, the best rookie who was playing in the tournament. Of the tournament teams. Conn Smythe to Lemieux as well. Vezina to Connor Hellebuck. Jennings to Connor Hellebuck. Bill Masterton to a player who wasn't even supposed to be in the series. Jack Adams to the coach of the Cousins. Selke to Barkov over on Upper Deck. Ted Lindsay to Gordie Howe on the Father Sons. And the Maurice Richard to Mario Lemieux. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The tournament has come to an end. We ran a simulation as well in a season and franchise mode. And there you go. So a huge thank you again to Hobbsy. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of NHL 26. Officially the final video on NHL 26 now. The next time you see NHL, it'll be NHL 27. So I got to start putting out some feelers for those of you who want to be in the Connected Franchise series. I'm trying to see different ideas of what we might do. Of course, we have the traditional franchise mode. But what else can we do? I'm going to put out an idea for which teams you want to see. I don't know. I got to start thinking about it because we're like a couple of weeks away from NHL 27. Franchise mode, connected franchise, and HLM 27. Those 3 things definitely coming your way in September. But what else? Maybe, I don't know, maybe we could do some more career sims if simulation is any faster, but I doubt that it is. So I guess NHL 28, if there's faster simulation, we could do career sims again. But that's that. Thanks for being here, everybody. Much love. Thank you again for all the donations that go such a very long way, helping to support the channel over the year to come. Thanks for being here. Leave your thoughts on what kind of fun tournament type things you want to see in the future. We write down all these ideas. This is an idea from Hobbsy from months ago that finally came to fruition. So it gets put in the database, no pun intended, and we work on it. So thanks again for being here. Have a great start to your week, and we'll talk again soon as we're getting closer and closer to NHL 27. Good night, everybody.